Alright guys, got another brew for you tonight. Tonight we're going to play some Dimir Control. Main build around card here is Sphinx's Tutelage, 3 mana enchantment. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, and if they're both non-land cards, it's share a color, repeat the process, which usually won't happen. So I mean, every time you draw a card, you're going to mill them too. So it's very slow and grindy. It also has an activated ability where you pay 6 mana, you draw and discard, so it activates itself for 6 mana, and you get to filter through your deck. But I mean, I'm not playing this as a standalone win condition. I'm playing some reanimation, so the goal is to just get a tutelage into play, control the board with removal and all that sort of stuff, you know, blue-black nonsense, and just grind out their deck with tutelage and fill it up so that you can reanimate some of their guys. So yeah, let's just take you up the curve here, starting with there are no 1-drops in the deck. But we're playing 3 copies of Ruined Servitor, so it's a 2-mana 2/2 early defensive creature. When it dies, each player draws a card. So when it dies, it'll trigger that tutelage, and it'll just, you know, it draws them. I don't care about them drawing a card, I really don't. But I get to draw a card, so it's a little bit of card draw for me, and it kills something. So I'm playing this. I see a lot of control decks playing Perilous Mirror, which Perilous Mirror is a fine card. But I like the card draw on this guy, and he's a 2/2. So I mean, in the control mirror, he actually does a little bit of damage. And we are playing Fleshbag Marauder in the deck, so you know, every now and then you're going to cast a Fleshbag, sack this guy, draw a card. So he's pretty good. Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, so he's just a 2-mana looter. You tap it, you draw, and you discard. So you know, he'll activate the tutelage if you tap him, but then if you have 5 or more cards in your graveyard, you flip him over. His Planeswalker side, his +1, you know, it shrinks a weenie down so that it can't hurt you. It works with Reave Soul, since Reave Soul hits a creature with power 3 or less. You know, you can use his +1, target a 5 power guy, bring his power down to 3 so that Reave Soul can hit it. His -3 lets you cast spells from your graveyard, and this deck has a lot of spells. It's expensive, -3 is a lot, but he does come in with 5 loyalty, so if you +1 him once and protect him a little bit, you can get 2 free spells out of your graveyard. His ultimate is not something we're going to be going for. You know, it will mill them out, but it takes a long time to get him up to 9, and usually if you've got him up to 9, you've probably already won anyway. So, but he's definitely good enough for this deck. A lot of times you wait till there's 5 cards in your graveyard, play him out, and as soon as you untap with him, you just activate his ability and flip him on the spot. Excuse me. Okay. Playing 1 copy of Shadows of the Past, 2-mana enchantment, so whenever a creature dies, scry 1, we're going to be killing lots of stuff. So this just lets us look at the top card of our library. If 2 things die, we don't scry 2, we scry 1 twice, and that's a big difference. So if your first scry, you see a card that you want, your second scry does nothing because you're just going to put the same card back on top. It also has an expensive activated ability. If there are 4 more creature cards in your graveyard, you can pay 5 mana at instant speed and drain your opponent for 2 and gain 2. There's only, I think, 13 creatures in this deck. Yeah, 13. So, you know, it's going to be a while before that's available, and 5 mana is a lot, but every now and then, you know, the little bit of life gain could help. We're mainly playing this just to scry after we kill something. So we're going to play all 3 copies of Telling Time. Telling Time is a great card, instant speed, and you look at the top 3 cards of your library. You get to put 1 in your hand, put 1 on the top, and put 1 on the bottom. You know, the wording on the card, it says put it into your hand, so in Magic Rules terminology, that's not counted as drawing a card. So this will not trigger Sphinx's Tutelage when you put that card in your hand because it doesn't explicitly say draw there. So that's a little bit of downside, but I mean the card selection provided by this is just really good. You know, the scry on Shadows, it's a little bit of card selection in this deck, and then we got Read the Bones coming up later on. I'm playing all 4 copies of Reave Soul. This is the deck's best removal spell. You know, 2 mana sorcery, destroy target creature with power 3 or less. Kills a lot of stuff in the format. This is the powerhouse card right here. The Jorbai Murklurker, 3 mana 1/3. But you'll see there if you have a swamp and this deck has 12, then he gets +1/+1. So he's 99% of the time he's a 2/4, and then that's probably being generous going down to 99. And he can also give a creature lifelink for just 2 mana. So he can do it to himself just to gain a bit of life, or with one of the bigger creatures that we have in the deck, and gain a couple of big spurts of life can get you right back in the game. And playing Fleshbag Marauder. 3/1, and when it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. You know, a lot of the time you will just sacrifice your own Fleshbag and have this be a sorcery speed edict. You know, that's what's going to happen most of the time, but like I said, there is a Ruined Servitor in the deck, so you may want to sacrifice that and keep your 3/1 and draw a card. It's entirely possible. But he's just, just a removal spell. One of the ways the deck has to deal with something like Gaia's Revenge, you got to keep the board clean, and then if they plop a Gaia's, then you can drop a Fleshbag if that's the only creature there, and get rid of it. So tutelage we talked about, that's kind of the centerpiece of the deck. Read the Bones here. This card is really, really good. 3 mana, you scry 2, then draw 2 cards, so you can get up to 4 cards deep. If you see 2 cards you like on top, you can keep them. If you see 2 you don't like, you can put them to the bottom and draw the next 2. Or you can just, you look at 2 cards, you see 1 you like, you keep it, and then you get 3 cards deep. So it's a really, really good card. You lose 2 life when you cast it. And but it is a sorcery, so I mean, all the stuff in this deck, I mean, this is a creature, even it's an edict, so it's sorcery speed. This is an enchantment, so we can't cast that. Reef Soul is a sorcery, so a lot of the deck is functioning at sorcery speed. You see here Shadows of the Passive enchantment. We do have Telling Time as an instant, but this is not a draw go style control deck. You're going to be tapping out all the time. But then when your opponent plays his stuff, you're just going to untap and deal with it then. The deck doesn't have any real good answer to non-creature permanents. I thought about One Displacement Wave, played with it for a little while. When you need it, but 90% of the time you don't need it, so then it's just sitting there doing nothing. So I'm not sure if something like Sigil of the Empty Throne, later on down the line is going to become a powerhouse. But right now, I don't think there's really enough to support it. But if a Sigil comes down against this deck, you're going to be in some big trouble. So that is a bit of a weakness. I'm going to play Erebos' Titan. He's a 4 mana 5/5, heavy on the black, but this deck does have a lot of black sources. And as long as your opponent controls no creatures, it has Indestructible. So, our aim is to kill all their things. So, half the time, he will often have Indestructible. And whenever a creature card leaves an opponent's graveyard, you can ditch a card and get this guy back to your hand. And we have reanimation spells that can target our opponent's graveyard, so that would, that would trigger that effect if he somehow happens to die. We can get him back. And he survives Languish, which is our best sweeper here in the format. It's 4 mana. All creatures get -4/-4 until end of turn, so that's really good. Obviously, we're going to play that in a control deck. Playing 1 copy of this Possessed Scab. He's basically like an Archaeomancer type effect, graveyard recursion, but you get to get an instant sorcery or creature card. Basically everything in the deck except for Tutelage and Shadows of the Past. Everything else you can go get, but he's 5 mana, he's a lot, and also, unfortunately, if it would die, then you exile it instead, so you don't get to put him back in your graveyard and dig him back out through other means, because we are playing Cruel Revival, and he is a zombie. So I'm playing 2 copies of Cruel Revival. I haven't been punished by the non-zombie creature drawback yet. I've always been able to kill what I needed with this thing, and there's not once that I haven't got a fleshbag back. Actually, there was one time I overdrew my hand, I ditched a Possessed Scab since he's a zombie, and then later on I cast my Cruel Revival and I got the Possessed Scab back. So it's not very often this guy's going to end up in the graveyard, but you can discard him, through your Sphinx's Tutelage effect, say, or whatever, and then know that you can get him back through Cruel Revival and cast him, because he's a very expensive. If you want to cast him to get a Languish back and wipe the board, that's 9 mana. So he is really expensive, and that's why I'm only running 1. But he's also a body, so he can block and kill something, after he gets a card back for you. This is the other half of the Sphinx's Tutelage package. Necromantic Summons, 5 mana. Put target creature card from a graveyard, so either your own or your opponent's, onto the battlefield under your control. And Spell Mastery, which is pretty much always going to be active by the time you cast this, and it gets 2+1/+1 counters on it. So you can target a Guy's Revenge with this thing, because that whole non-green sources thing only applies when Guy's Revenge is on the battlefield. In the graveyard, that doesn't do anything. And so even if you're playing against a weenie deck with 2 and 3 drops, those additional 2+1/+1 counters, they really matter. You can get a 2/2 out of the graveyard. I've had 4/4 Gravediggers that draw me a Fleshbag Marauder. That's really good. You reanimate your opponent's Gravedigger as a 4/4, which is huge, because they're probably playing some kind of small deck, and you get to dig back a removal spell out of your graveyard. It's really good, the stuff you can do with this. And of course, Sphinx's Tutelage, it just passively mills them as you draw cards, on your draw step and with your other cards. So then you're just constantly feeding this, and you can either win this way by getting a big dude. I've hit him with Guy's Revenge. You can get an achievement, I think, for dealing 10 damage to your opponent with a creature you don't, like in one duel. Well, if you Necromantic Summons a Guy's Revenge and hit him with it with the Spell Mastery, you're getting that achievement, because he'll be a 10 power dude. So that's how I unlocked that achievement. And we're playing 1 copy of Cotoped Soul Hoarder, 6 mana 6/6 flyer, so he's really big body, and he has flying. And whenever a permanent owned by another player is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card and lose 1 life. So the deck with Read the Bones and Cotoped and all that, it can get a bit dicey on the life total at times. But we got the Murk Lurker here, and occasional Shadows of the Past activations. So it hasn't been too much trouble. You know, you got to play around with your life total a little bit though. You're going to be going sub 10 a lot and trying to manage that. As far as the mana base, playing 25 land, all 6 dual lands, 12 swamps because we're playing Erebos' Titan, Languish, and all that sort of stuff. Only 7 islands. That's still 13 blue sources. I don't have any cards in the deck that require 2 blue mana. Nothing. You know, there's not even that much blue cards in the deck. There's 4, 7, 10, 11 blue cards in the deck, and we've got 13 sources. So I mean that's fine. I don't even need to count the fucking cards. It says at the bottom there are 11 blue cards, 22 black, and 3 colorless. Anyway, so yeah, that's Dimir Control. You know, so let's go play a game. Some other decks I've been putting together. Let's get out of here though. Find a versus battle. And let's go get some gold. Hopefully get some gold. Also, had some audio issues last night with the video, if you watched that one. So I've got Windows 10 downloaded and installed. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. So I tweaked some settings, and I checked all my connections and all that. Did a quick 1-minute test video, didn't notice any issues, but if there are any audio issues, please let me know. Playing against this guy with the rainy, lightning stormy background. Wizard Sean on the other end over there. I wonder whatever happened to him. But that was his avatar back on the mothership. All right, this game takes a little bit of time to load. I gotta say, it's just a card game. You know, I guess it's connecting the 2 people together. So I'm on rank 23, playing against rank 2. I haven't seen a whole lot of high-ranking people. I guess people are still grinding against the AI, not heading into the ladder. I bought the cards, as you all know. So I mean, I've got Reeve Soul into Tutelage and Read the Bones. Don't see anything wrong with this hand at all. On the play, no less. Get to put down a gate. And pass it on over. I didn't catch my friend's name over here. He is playing a 60-card deck. He mulliganed 6. Icy Finn or something like that. He's playing a Dimir Gilgate as well. I'd like to pick up a telling time here. Did not, but we did get a 2-drop. So we'll play out this guy. If it's a control mirror, all of a sudden I do kind of mind my opponent getting a card. But in most cases, I do not mind giving him a card off Ruin Servitor, because 2 mana 2/2, especially when the colored mana doesn't matter, is pretty good. Looking at a Corpse Hauler. That's a 2/1 dude. I think he can pay 3 mana, sacrifice it to get something back from his graveyard. Yeah. So we're just gonna sit back. And we're going to set up the tutelage and get that going. Obviously he's got some graveyard shenanigans going on over there. So, us filling up his graveyard might slightly benefit him. We'll find out once we start putting some stuff in the graveyard. We'll have a look at it and see what kind of stuff he's running. But he's playing a Foundry of the Console. So if he's playing this, it makes me think he's playing some kind of... I don't know if he's playing some kind of weenie deck or not. Excuse me, sorry. If he attacks, I'll trade for sure. He's not going to, though. 3 mana to activate that, which he does currently have. So that's going to put 2 cards in his graveyard, at least 2 cards. And let's have a look. See, 2 lands. Okay, so I think, since I'm going to be giving him some nice stuff in his graveyard. And he can sacrifice that to go get something nice out of his graveyard. So I think I'm just going to kill this right here now while he's got no creatures in his graveyard. And then just swing for 2 and play another Servitor. And then, if we ever languish, we'll get to draw 2 cards. So will he, but... Alright, so we got a couple of 2/2s in play. Active Tutelage. Only got 2 cards in hand already, but we got Read the Bones to draw 2. And, if we ever get to 6 mana. So we're looking at a Gravedigger here now. So he's going to dig up the Corpse Hauler. So like I said, that Gravedigger is going to be a nice target for necromantic summons, if and when that becomes reality. So tutelage is going to mill him again. Question is now, do I want to go double tutelage and focus on milling him as a win condition? Like, I think I do. I think I want a double tutelage. He's playing blue-black. Let's have another look at his graveyard. I don't know what he could have for, you know, enchantment removal. So let's double tutelage here and just get that process going faster. Then when we read the bones, it's going to activate 4 times. So we draw 2 cards and each one will trigger twice. So do I offer up 1 servitor here and keep coming at him? I'll swing in with 1. I'll bring 1. So he's going to take it and we'll both get a card. He must have some way to get it back, I suppose, but picked up Telling Time and activated Sphinx's tutelage twice. Let's see what's in our opponent's graveyard now. Sky Eel School, Corpse Haulers. What is this? 3 mana, 3/3 flying fish. Draw this card. Bitter Revelation, I know. Gilt-Leaf Winnower, I know. Languish, obviously. So he's playing some kind of control-y thing. Alright, so now he's playing out Disciple of the Ring. That's his mythic rare thing. So I'm going to be definitely feeding him instants and sorceries to go with that. Target non-creature spell. So we picked up a Titan. So here's two tutelage triggers. And we didn't pick up a land drop. So I am going to read the bones here and get a lot more Sphinx's tutelage action going on. We'll leave up the dual land here. Not worried about the 2 life loss in this matchup, I don't think. So, Necromantic Summons. Actually, I'm just going to draw both of these cards. So we'll put them both on top. That'll give us our land for turn. And it's going to be, you know, at least 8 cards to his graveyard. So let's see, he was 28, 26, 24, 2, 20. Yeah, we got 8 cards. So here's a land, and we've got Telling Time open. So is this from his graveyard? Yeah, he has to exile it from his own graveyard. Choose one. He can buff it up, you know, for as many times as he has mana. He can tap stuff, untap stuff. So I'm not going to attack. You know, if he wants to tap me down and waste one of his instants and sorceries, he's got 5 mana, so he can tap me down and buff it 4 times if that's the road he wants to go down. I assume he's playing enough instants and sorceries in here to go with that. I don't see any. Unholy Hunger is an instant. He's going to play a Bitter Revelation and feed his own graveyard. Fill your boots, buddy. That tutelage is getting ever so close to killing you. And if he attacks here without tapping my dude down, I'm definitely going to block, draw a card, and activate tutelage twice. That's definitely going to happen. Let's see, still in main phase 1. Alright, he's going to exile something. Now let's see what he does. I assume he's going to tap my guy and attack. I mean, yeah, looks like a tap. Alright, and he's got 1 mana open, so he can pump it up by 1 and get in for 4. There you go. So let's see, instants and sorceries. How many does he have? We got up as far as here. Of course, I see a displacement wave in there. I hate not having the back button, you know, let me open the graveyard browser, so fuck it. No, I don't care. Anyways, we managed to stop the timer there. Whole priority is another thing I really missed, but you know, you gotta get used to it. So which one of these do we want? Flesh Bag we want directly to hand, that's for sure. I don't think I need the Reeve Soul. I'll take the land. So that's what we'll draw for turn, is that swamp. And we're gonna mill him twice. See if we get any more than 2 this time. No, just 2 on that trigger. 2 on that trigger. And we are... Actually, does he have a Flesh Bag in his graveyard? Nah, fuck it, I'm not going to spend that. Not going to try and get cute like that. So we're going to Flesh Bag, and we're going to... I suppose I should have attacked, but I'm trying to kill him with the mill here. So let's sacrifice our own Rune Servitor. Draw a card and get 2 more triggers off the tutelage. And actually we picked up Read the Bones. So looks like that's going to be game. So let's read them bones. And we're going to mill at least 8. He's only got 6 left. So it doesn't matter. Let's just put him on top of our library and draw him. Since it doesn't matter. And double tutelage doing work. So really I really like this guy in this deck. So far, I gotta say, Read the Bones is really strong. And yeah, there's Sphinx's tutelage for you. But he didn't put the pressure on, so there we go. 20 more gold. Saving up for Battle for Zendikar. And rank 24. I think there's an achievement for getting to rank 25. I know I got one at 15. Let's play one more game. We're at 20 minutes. Where are you? So it defaults back to the first deck here. So these are the decks that I've been working on. Simic Tempo I showed for you yesterday. Grohl Ramp, Green Red Lands. I mean, I'm sure everybody and their mother has figured that one out by now. Dimir Control is what I'm playing now. Selesnya Aggro, that's just a renowned deck. Again, pretty common. This is just a fun deck. It's not really it's like an artifact air hybrid. You know, your standard mono red. And I'm dicking around a little bit with the elf deck. But there'll definitely be more for the next couple of weeks. You're going to see a different one every single day. You know, in the meantime, I'm going to stream on Twitch and tune them and test them, and I'm going to be playing offline as well. So, trying to get these things nailed down and wait for everybody else to catch up. Seems like a lot of the people, you know, are playing with starter decks, and you know, they're not like me and spend $65 10 o'clock on release morning. You know, which I can understand. But I mean, I play this game a lot, and I have a YouTube channel, so it's kind of necessary for me. And in all honesty, I probably would have done it anyway, even if I didn't have the channel. I still play the game a lot, so definitely worth it to me. Sorry about all you Steam fellas who are having the fatal errors and the crashes and all that. Sympathize with you guys. You know, I was pissed off that I was getting it 2 days later than you, but it seems I'm getting to play more than you guys, and the people who can play are having the server problems. So hopefully that gets all straightened away soon. This is one of the, again, rank 24, rank 2. I mean, I know everybody's not playing as much as I am, but still, there's got to be some people beyond rank 2. I mean, Jesus. 5 lander, but we do have a early removal spell and a Read the Bones, so this is snap keep, I think. It's really jarring when you press keep, your cards disappear and then reappear. Several times now I'm after thinking to myself, like, did I just fucking mulligan that hand? You know, I wanted to keep it. So we're looking at a forest. And yeah, land off the top, baby. Stainless Shuffle. Alright, yeah, that's Mobius' name for it, but I'm adopting it because it's just fucking awesome. So we're just going to play a gate, and if we don't need to kill anything, I'll probably just play another fucking gate. So, let's see. If he's playing mono green, he's playing green white. You know, if he drops one of those renowned 2-drops like a Topan Freeblade or Undercity Troll, it's fucking dead. He's probably on the elf deck. So we're gonna, when we Read the Bones, we are gonna be prioritizing Languish. 2 lands off the top, keep a 5 lander. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Watch me scry away a couple of non-land cards and draw a couple of land cards. Well, I'm gonna keep any non-land card. I'm gonna keep off this Read the Bones. So now we're looking at a Woodland Cemetery. So he's got 3 mana, but he's passing the second main, so he doesn't have a play. It looks like, or is he just gonna play? No, he does not have a play. Okay. You gotta be careful though, playing your gates first. This Drowned Catacomb, usually you're going to assume this is going to come into play, but these do not count as swamps or islands, they're gates. So I had to play a basic first. So we got another Reef Soul. If it is the elf deck, that's going to be good. He could be playing something else though. So let's Read the Bones and keep any non-land cards we can find. What do we see? Definitely going to want. So we're going to keep the Possessed Scab. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to keep a Possessed Scab. I'm not going to keep that right now. So let's draw the 2 underneath that, and it is a Murk Lurker and a Cruel Revival. And on the draw, if you cast turn 3 Read the Bones, you had to discard, which is kind of shitty. But you know, we got lots of land. We're sure to draw more. Watch me get stuck on 6 and die. Watch that happen. Anyways, 2 removal spells. Murky Lurky, 5 mana instant removal spell. But he could be playing some zombies over there. I have to pay attention to creature types on anything he plays. What the hell is he playing? Just nothing? You gotta have a play on turn 4, man. Holy shit. Okay, no play. Picked up Murk Lurker number 2. So we'll just get the Catacomb down and cast one of these guys. Maybe he's playing Reef Soul and he's just gonna blast our dude. If that's the case, then fine. It's okay. So let's see if he's playing, some type of control deck. 5 mana. 5 mana. I gotta get upstairs and take another allergy pill. I tell you, this has been the worst summer for me. Gilt-Leaf Winnower, that'll kill a Murklurker. Power and toughness are not equal. And Reef Soul doesn't kill it, but I do have Cruel Revival. I don't think this elf is a zombie elf. It is black, but no. It is not a zombie elf. We've got a Languish. We've got a Languish, so he's playing the elf deck. His first play is Winnower. That's obviously a bad keep. So, I'm not going to play the Murklurker out. I'm probably not going to Cruel Revival just yet. I'm going to hope he plays out some more cards to the board, and then I Languish and get it to 2 or 3 for 1. Probably going to hope that happens. I mean, if he does something to that, like put an enchantment on it or something, or try to use some type of combat trick, yeah, I'll kill it. But it is Alyssa Lana Huntmaster, so he's got 4-drop and a 5-drop. I think that's safe to say that I'm going to Languish next turn and not spend this Cruel Revival, so I'm going to take the 4 here. I'd like him to play a 1-drop, like the Thornbow Archer, just so I could get a 3 for 1, but I doubt we're going to see that coming. So I probably should have kept that Scab now that I'm going to bust this Languish up. Languish, I'm sorry. I got a 3rd Reef Soul, which should be good against, everything that's not a Gilt-Leaf Winnower in this deck. Jagged Scar if he gets it going, but for now, we're just going to get those 2 big guys off the field. And watch me get stuck on 6 mana, like I said. Alright. Come on, dude. How many cards does he have? 6 cards in his hand. We're looking at Zendikar's Royal. That's going to be a pain in the arse for this deck to handle. That's going to be a real fucking pain in this deck to handle. I can get a Murklurker down and buy some time, but over time that thing's going to be really fucking annoying for this deck to face. I mean, there's nothing I can do to remove those types of spells. I don't want to play counter spells. Read them bones. Well, we will lurk, and then we'll read. What are we looking for here? So there's another Read the Bones, which we can keep on top. And then draw the card underneath it, which we got all 4 Reef Souls. Look at that in the top 18. So I mean that should be good. It looks like he's got white in his deck. I'm going to be using Reef Soul to bust open Zendikar's Royal tokens. It's really fucking shitty. I'm going to need a Languish, and that zombie dude is way on the bottom of the deck. He's not coming up for a long time. So in hindsight, probably should have grabbed him. So Gravedigger is probably going to get the Gilt-Leaf Winnower, and that'll kill my Murklurker next turn. That's really fucking shitty. It's pretty bad. We're in hard shape. Gotta say, we're in hard shape. Zendikar's Royal and Elves and Gravedigger. No play until turn 5. But I can't do anything about his Zendikar's Royal. Can't do anything about his Zendikar's Royal. So he's gonna kill it. We know this much. We know this much. Let's read. I don't need to use Cruel Revival. Let's see. Languish. Yes, we will. I'm gonna keep both of these cards. I'm gonna draw both of those. We are going to play Tutelage. But the Zendikar's Royal, he's going to keep drawing lands, and the Languish is only going to get rid of the problem for a turn. So I'm taking 6 next turn because he's going to cast that Winnower. I should have just attacked there. There's no reason for me not to attack there because I'm not going to get the block with Murklurker. So that was pretty stupid not to just swing. Either get 2 points of damage or maybe he blocks for some reason. But, we're a long ways away from a tutelage victory, and if he's playing a 3rd color, then we're never going to get more than 2. So let's see, here comes the Winnower. So Merc Lurker's dead, and we're going down to 4. Yep, that's hard times. Luckily we got this. You know, found the second one. All 4 Reef Souls, and both language in the top 20. But again, we're on 4, so yeah. Let's mill them out. I'm gonna play this out after, because I'd like to keep it. So let's do that again. Clean that up. Get a 2/2. And then we're going to have to start blowing Reef Souls on Royal tokens and hope to get there off tutelage. You know, I don't see it happening, but you never know. You know, one never knows. Yeah, both languages are gone now, though. That's off the table. So he did have another land. He's got 8 in play now. Interested, you know, to see what else I've only seen 4 drops and 5 drops from him so far. He's playing Valeron Wardens, which is weird. This doesn't look like a renowned deck. Yeah. Only seeing big stuff, so there's another Lissalana Huntmaster. I'm going to have to kill that. If he has an elf spell in his hand, he can generate a token this turn. Which he does. Reclamation Sage to blow up my tutelage, or maybe my Servitor. Yeah, he's going to blow up the Servitor, yeah. Well, this is beyond bad. Picked up another tutelage, I guess. That's good. I guess. Well, it's not really. So I'm on 4. I've lost 2 Merc Lurkers already this game because of Guildleaf Winnower. Something vicious going on upstairs. I don't know if you guys hear that. Oh my goodness. Read the bones. I don't know if I can afford the 2 life right now. Thank you very much. I'll play another tutelage and reeve 2 things. Reeve that. Reeve that. Well, this is, I mean, I'm dead here. I mean, all he needs is 1 point of damage. Any type of little pump spell or anything, and I'm dead, you know. I need so much time. If he plays a land, he gets another 2/2, you know. So I cannot play Read the Bones now. Sunblade Elf doesn't have the planes for it. Oh sure, yeah, he can activate that ability because he's got so much mana. So I'm just dead right now. All right, well then, yeah, found both language, but it didn't matter. My Merc Lurkers got lurked, and he just did me in. Then the card's royal. All right. Well, that's it for Dimir Control for tonight. Didn't even get to cast Necromantic Summons. First guy just milled him the fuck out. Second guy steamrolled me. Right on. Okay then, we'll see you for another deck tomorrow. Thanks guys for watching.